Okay, today we're going to talk about using the clone stamp to remove unwanted parts of your image or to add extra things to your image. So right here I have a windmill photo. It's not the same one you're going to be working on, but it's similar. We're going to use the clone stamp, which is right here over on the left-hand side under your toolbar. It's this one that looks like a stamp. This is your clone stamp. You can see it makes a circle tool. You can enlarge and decrease the size of this by using the bracket keys on your keyboard. The bracket keys are next to the letter P on your keyboard. So the left one makes it small and the right one makes it big. The other thing you can adjust is up here on top where it says opacity. Remember that opacity is how much you can see through it. So 100% opacity means you cannot see through the thing that you are stamping. And well, I'll show you what it looks like when you have a smaller than 100% opacity. But let's say we want to remove this small windmill right here. So what I can do is take my clone stamp, click the Alt key, and press down on an area of the image that I want to cover the windmill with. So let's say I want to cover it with this cloud area. So I'm going to do that and then release, come over here and push my left mouse key down. And you'll see it covered the windmill with the cloud. So when you use the clone stamp to kind of like when people say Photoshop that out, you're not removing it and revealing something that's behind that windmill that was actually there, because when you took the picture, it didn't record what was behind the windmill. Instead, we have to cover it up. That's what the clone stamp does. I'm going to make it a little smaller and get in closer so that I'm using parts of the clouds that are closer to the windmill, so maybe it will match a little better. Just grabbing from places that I want to use and covering it up. You see I made a little mistake there. So let's talk about the windows. If you go to the Windows tab at the top and you click History, this History window will open up here and you can go back to any step that you want to. So if you make a mistake, you can go back like that. And I'm getting kind of close to this windmill, so I might want to make my clone stamp a little bit smaller. And I keep on doing this. It doesn't really work that well to drag. It works better to do small areas at a time. You can see slowly but surely. That didn't look very good. Whoops. Slowly but surely I am uncovering it. Sometimes it does work to do like a big chunk at once. Sometimes it doesn't. That didn't look good. You'll notice when we get down here, we want to keep this line. You'll also notice if you hover over, it shows you kind of like what's going to go there. It previews it for you. And so I just want to get this light part in here. And then when I get to the ground, I want to make sure I'm selecting half ground and half sky to replace. We wouldn't want to replace that there with all sky or all ground because it wouldn't look right. So I've removed the clone stamp. I did want to show you what happens if you're at like 50% opacity. Let's put it around there. And we do that same process. You'll see it's going to cover it, but lightly, like you can see through it, right? So opacity is how much you can see through it. Let's say I wanted to add a tree instead of remove a tree. I could make my clone stamp big enough to fit over the whole tree, do the same process. I'm hitting the Alt key and then clicking down on the tree. Coming over here, you see how it shows you what it's going to be. So I wouldn't want to put it up here or down here. I want to line up that ground and I can add a tree right there. Oh, I still have it at 50% capacity. Opacity. Why am I saying capacity? Let's put that back up to 100. Try again. I'm going to go over that with my Alt key. Come over here, and now it's going to look better because it has the whole tree. But you can see I kind of messed up because it took some of the tree next to it, but I can easily clean that up by going to a small tool here and covering it with clouds. I use this for things like if kids accidentally leave on a Band-Aid for pictures, or they have like a temporary tattoo, or maybe to clear up some acne or a bruise. So let's say we wanted to remove this person's tattoo. I'm not expressing an opinion on tattoos either way. I'm just saying someone may ask you one day to take a headshot and say, my headshot on the company website can't show my tattoo. Can you remove it? You would be able to use the clone stamp. So again, just picking an area of the skin that I would like to cover this up with, and I just continue on like this. So these are the things you're going to be asked to do on your assignment today using the clone stamp, a very basic Photoshop tool. Thanks for watching.